You know, they say actions speak louder than words. I think that the real way to spread the message of Imam Hussein is to work with other people for justice, in democracy, to be open to others in pursuit of a common good. And the idea that Imam Hussein was killed in 680, that's 1,339 years ago. And the message is still strong. And so you just need to be faithful to that message and live it as he did. My name is Glosman. I'm a peer, I'm a Lord for the Labour Party in the House of Lords, and I'm the director of the Common Good Foundation. The thing that led me to go on the trip of Arbain was I had a long-standing interest in the Shia religion. What we thought was, Ajam and I, would be a very good idea to go on the pilgrimage and to take a television camera with, and then the idea was that maybe we'd make some short internet videos or things like that, and just to explain to people that this is the biggest foot pilgrimage in the world. Along the way on this pilgrimage, there are remarkable things to see, and so it was essentially a desire to just explain more to the people in our country of who the Shia of Iraq. So in my country, England, in Britain, we don't know very much about the Arbain, about Hussein. When people think about Shia, they tend to think about the Ayatollah Khomeini in Iran. So we are here to try to tell a story about the meaning of Hussein and the meaning of the Arbain for British television. Is that when Imam Hussein left Medina, left Mecca and went on his pilgrimage with 72 friends and his family, he was surrounded by the troops, by the forces of Yazid. And essentially 30,000 troops surrounded a small caravan carrying a family and friends in the middle of the desert in the place that we now call Karbala. And within seeing distance of where they were was the Euphrates River. But on the orders of the Caliph Yazid, Hussein, his family and his friends were allowed no access to the water. So essentially, the children died of thirst, many of the friends died of thirst, and there was a siege in the desert where the grandson and the progeny of the Prophet Muhammad were essentially dying of thirst. So when the actual battle came, they were all terribly weakened. So not only was it an incredibly unequal battle in terms of numbers, but water was used politically as a means of denying life. It's for moral reasons and ethical reasons. I found in Hussein an incredible story about standing up against dictatorship and tyranny, and when I looked at Ali and the teachings of Hussein about community, about freedom, about courage, and I think people should know that there's something very good in this country, and I want to be able to tell that story. Well, there were books on Hussein, so I've read a lot about the teachings of Hussein, about the teachings of Ali, but also I was very inspired by Hashti Shabi about the fight against Daesh. You know, on what ground did the Iraqi people fight? And they fought against Yazid, they fought against corruption, they fought against tyranny, they fought against hypocrisy, and they fought against monopoly, the monopoly of power. Who the Shia of Iraq are, you know, was that's there's just an empty space where the Iraqi Shia are, and obviously that's comes back down to a general view that the Iraq War was a disaster, that somehow the Iraq War was just a catastrophe and that everything is wrong and people are feeling ashamed about it and they don't want to. So the idea that something good is coming, the idea that there is a genuine stirring of democratic activity, that there are different parties, that there is a contestation and a real rebuilding in a completely different way of the nation was beyond people's understanding. And then beyond that, and I know that for you it's incredible, but I found out that most people didn't know who Hussein was. In Iraq, well, Iraq is full of possibilities. So we're here at this Arbaeen pilgrimage. Hussein is a very interesting figure to me. So I'm very interested to the extent to which Hussein becomes a guiding figure in the Iraqi politics. But the idea that water is not simply a commodity to be bought and sold. I remember when I was in Iraq and I told people that water was privatized in Britain and people made profit, people were morally outraged by that concept, as I am. But neither is, this is the other interesting side of the story, is that neither is water owned by the state to be used for political reasons in order to pursue political objectives. So one of the key features of the Arbaeen pilgrimage was the incredible reality that everybody shared water. This was a theme that ran throughout the pilgrimage. And not only did they share the water, which if you think that you're walking through the desert is quite something, but then there is the sharing of food, and that was something to behold, and the effort that people would go to make the food and the organisation. And as far as I could understand it, families were hospitable. And when I came, I found that what people told me about the Arbaeen was true. People feed each other, they house each other, they share water. It's an incredible thing, this pilgrimage, a statement of what life could be like. So yeah, I was very inspired by my visit. I've been very relaxed. I haven't seen any really particular trouble, thank God. No, if the people are brave enough to walk, then I'm brave enough to join them. Thing that I understood along this journey, that there was security. And then through that I began to understand the history of the Arbaeen in terms of the 40 days after Imam Hussein was killed, and then the role of Zainab in retrieving the head, which was carried on a pike all the way to Damascus, and then the retrieval of the head and the reconstitution of the body is the day of the Arbaeen, which is 40 days after Ashura. So it's just it was just an incredible thing to witness, the voluntary and in many ways spontaneous act of solidarity of people to others. Is the primary memory that I have where people are.
This is why we're here. We want to let English people and British people know what the Shia are about, what Imam Hussein means and what they do.
So, for example, you can feel the presence of Imam Hussein, and it's not this one has an idea of Imam Hussein, and that everybody agrees he's alive. We also experience that with Abbas, you know, in the shrine of Abbas.
I feel very honoured to be here. It's amazing to see the devotion to Imam Hussein from all over Iraq and from Lebanon, and from Iran, from Bahrain and from Pakistan. It's wonderful to be here.
On the night of the Arbaeen, it's like the Shia Olympics in Abbas's shrine, is that people walk in according to their nations, is that some of them crawled in. Now, I said, you know, what's that? Well, part of that was because of what happened to Abbas when he had his arms chopped off, getting water for the children.
Because I made it to Karbala, I've witnessed the devotion to Imam Hussein. I think it's beautiful, so this is a very good moment. So I saw people making food, sharing their houses, sharing water. I saw families walking for miles and miles. I saw a real devotion to the meaning and the life of Imam Hussein. Oh, I felt very safe. And I want to thank the Hashti Shabi, we were very safe.
So all of these things came together. I was very grateful that the charity that I work for, the Common Good Foundation, sort of agreed to go so we could take a camera and we could get the necessary equipment and things that we needed to go.
I hope they see it on the television programme that we want to make. I hope we do. So we came last year, we've come back this year, so now we've got film. So I hope that this time we'll be able to make it.
You know, they say actions speak louder than words. I think that the real way to spread the message of Imam Hussein is to work with other people for justice, in democracy, to be open to others in pursuit of a common good. And the idea that Imam Hussein was killed in 680, that's 1,339 years ago. And the message is still strong. And so you just need to be faithful to that message and live it as he did.